Most men after 40 believe they can relax with their appearance. Fatal error. It is exactly when you need to elevate your game. Dressing well is not vanity. It is a declaration of power. A well-tailored suit is to a man what a uniform is to a general, instant authority. Have you noticed how elite executives are always impeccably dressed? It is no coincidence they are at the top of the social food chain. The world treats you exactly as you present yourself. This is the first inconvenient truth many refuse to accept. While the mass of mature men gives up and starts wearing faded t-shirts and loose pants, the refined man understands that now is the time to further refine his style. Why? Because competition has drastically decreased. Most have simply given up. Look at the most powerful men in any environment. They are rarely poorly dressed. They intuitively understand that their appearance is their personal brand. Italians have a concept called sprezzatura, the art of making something extremely difficult appear effortless. It is exactly what a well-chosen outfit provides. An aura of natural excellence that other men cannot define but instinctively respect. When Steve Jobs created his minimalist uniform of black turtleneck and jeans, it was not out of laziness. It was a calculated declaration of identity. The same applies to the most respected leaders in any industry. They understand that their image is an inseparable part of their success. Do you think it is a coincidence that CEOs of the largest companies in the world always appear so well dressed? It is a conscious choice, not luck. The second inconvenient truth: your clothing speaks before you do. In 3 seconds, people form judgments that can take years to change. When you enter a room wearing an impeccable outfit, you do not need to announce your value. Your presence does it automatically. It is like having an invisible assistant who prepares the ground before each interaction. Studies from Princeton University show that we take less than 1/10 of a second to form impressions about social status and competence. Your brain cannot process words as quickly as it processes visuals. So what is your appearance communicating? An experiment conducted with executives showed that the same man wearing different clothes received drastically different treatment. With a tailored suit, he received greater deference, more speaking time in meetings, and his ideas were considered more valuable. Same man, same ideas, different clothes, different results. This is not superficial. It is human behavioral reality. The third painful truth: most men dress for the body they wish to have, not the one they actually have. Result: complete visual disaster. A poorly fitted suit does not hide extra pounds. It highlights them. True elegance comes from perfect fit, not brand. A $500 suit perfectly tailored by a skilled tailor looks infinitely superior to a poorly fitted $5,000 suit. The male suit was developed over centuries to optimize the male silhouette. Broader shoulders, narrower waist, longer legs. But this only works when the fit is perfect. A shirt with excess fabric at the waist or a jacket that is too long destroys this carefully designed effect. If you are paying for quality clothes but saving on adjustments, you are literally throwing money away. Michael Caine once said that the secret of masculine style lies in the small details that nobody notices, but whose absence everyone perceives. The perfectly folded pocket square, the watch that complements the shoes, the tie that harmonizes with the suit without perfectly matching. Details are what separate the ordinary man from the extraordinary. Fourth indigestible truth: elegance is not democratic. Not everyone can master the art of style. It requires study, practice, and a critical eye. It requires you to reject mediocrity and seek excellence in every detail. The truly elegant man is an aristocrat in spirit, regardless of his bank account. True luxury never shouts, it whispers. Any man can buy a diamond-covered watch or a suit with a giant logo, but that is not elegance. It is ostentation. Authentic elegance is in the quality of materials, the precision of the cut, the harmony of proportions. It is the type of luxury that only other connoisseurs recognize. A secret, code among men of refinement. Think about David Beckham. Before becoming a style icon, he was just another talented football player. It was his conscious decision to transform himself into an elegant man that elevated him above his contemporaries and secured his legacy far beyond the fields. Today, even retired from the sport, his name is synonymous with sophistication. The fifth truth few mature men want to hear: your current wardrobe is probably sabotaging you. That shirt you love? Probably dated. That watch you have worn for decades? It might be sending the wrong message. An elegant man ruthlessly evaluates his wardrobe, eliminating any piece that no longer serves its purpose. Fashion is fleeting, but style is eternal. This does not mean you should completely ignore trends. It means you should adopt them selectively, and only when they complement your established personal style. Compare the wardrobe of a truly elegant man over the years. You will notice an evolution, not a reinvention. He constantly refines, but maintains a coherent visual identity. Your style should evolve with you. What worked at 30 rarely works at 50. The sixth uncomfortable truth is that you need to adapt your presentation to your current age, not the age you would like to have. This does not mean dressing like an old man. It means dressing like a confident man who embraces his maturity and experience. The most powerful men I know understand that maturity is an invaluable asset. They do not try to hide their gray hair. They display it with pride, complementing it with clothes that convey authority and experience. Heavier fabrics, richer colors, more classic cuts. All this communicates that you are at the peak of your life, not trying to recapture your youth. When Tom Hanks passed 50, his style transformation was remarkable. He embraced more sophisticated looks, richer fabrics, and more classic silhouettes. Result? He looks more imposing and respectable today than in his 30s. He understood that maturity is an asset, not a liability. Your style should communicate this. The seventh truth many men ignore. In an increasingly casual world, the well-dressed man has disproportionate power. When everyone is in jeans and a t-shirt, the man in a suit commands the environment. It is not about being formally dressed always. It is about being appropriately dressed, consistently above average. We live in an era where many confuse comfort with sloppiness. Comfort is fundamental, but never at the expense of appearance. There are comfortable pants that look impeccable. There are comfortable shoes that look sophisticated. The true man of style never sacrifices his presentation for momentary comfort. He finds solutions that meet both requirements. Once I witnessed a meeting between two executives at a restaurant. One wore expensive jeans and a cashmere pullover. The other wore an impeccable navy blue suit with a discreet tie. Despite the first being the CEO and the second only a director, the waiters, maitre d', and other clients naturally addressed the man in the suit as if he were the authority. Visual power is real. The eighth inconvenient truth: your personal hygiene and grooming are as important as your clothes. A $10,000 suit does not compensate for poorly maintained nails, an unintentional stubble, or unkempt hair. The truly elegant man is impeccable in all aspects of his presentation. Observe truly powerful men. Their hair is always perfectly cut. Their beards, when they have them, are meticulously trimmed. Their hands are well cared for. Their skin is clean and treated. This is not vanity. It is necessary attention to detail. If you are willing to spend hours researching the best investment for your money, why not invest the same time caring for your most valuable asset, yourself? One of the most powerful men I knew had a rule. If he could not reserve time for a weekly visit to the barber, he cancelled meetings until he could. For him, presentation was a matter of respect, for himself and for others. The ninth truth, few men face. Sloppiness in appearance usually reflects sloppiness in other areas of life. When you allow your standards to fall regarding your appearance, you are usually allowing them to fall regarding your relationships, career, and health. They are interconnected. This is a difficult truth to accept, but deeply revealing. Pay attention to the men around you who systematically neglect their appearance. You will notice that this neglect rarely limits itself just to clothes. It usually extends to their homes, their cars, their workplaces. It is not a coincidence. Their external standards reflect their internal standards. External elegance reflects internal discipline. It is no wonder that the military is so rigorous about personal presentation. They understand that attention to external details cultivates attention to detail in all areas. 10th painful truth, you are not as young as you think, and your wardrobe should reflect this. That band t-shirt, those trendy sneakers, they are diminishing you, not elevating you. There is a critical difference between dressing youthfully and dressing juvenile. One makes you look vital, the other desperate. One of the most common mistakes I see in mature men is the attempt to cling to youth through clothes. They do not realize this has the opposite effect. Instead of appearing younger, they look like older men desperately trying to appear young. It is the male equivalent of a poorly done facelift. People do not think he looks young. They think he is trying to look young. There is a huge difference. The difference between a 50-year-old man who looks pathetic and one who looks powerful often comes down to his clothing choices. The first tries to cling to youth, the second embraces his maturity with confidence. The 11th and perhaps most important truth, your elegance is not optional for a man who wants to be taken seriously. In a world where traditional rules of social status are in flux, your personal presentation is one of the few areas where you maintain total control. Use this to your advantage. Each item you wear is a strategic decision, whether you recognize it or not. Each choice communicates something about you, your values, your attention to detail, your self-respect. When you truly understand this, your relationship with clothes fundamentally changes. They cease to be merely fabrics to cover your body and become tools of power and influence. Two of the most influential men in the world clearly understood this. When they need to be taken seriously, they abandon the casual look and wear impeccable formal attire. When that famous technology entrepreneur began his transformation from a simple entrepreneur to a global icon, his wardrobe evolved significantly. These are not coincidences. They are strategic choices made by men who understand the power of presentation. Look at the men you respect. Look at the leaders in your field. Observe how they present themselves. There is an undeniable pattern between power and personal presentation. It is not superficial, it is strategic. Think about the business leaders you admire, about international diplomats whose words shape nations, about maestros who conduct orchestras, about renowned surgeons. All these men share a common trait, an impeccable presentation. They may not be fashionable, but they are invariably well-dressed for their respective roles. This is not coincidence. It is ancestral knowledge that successful men intuitively absorb. Elegance is not just about clothes. It is about how you move, how you speak, how you treat others. A true gentleman demonstrates refinement in all areas. He is consciously courteous without being subservient. He is confident without being arrogant. He commands respect without demanding it. True power never needs to be announced. It is felt. When a truly elegant and powerful man enters a room, people look. Not because he's calling attention, but because his presence is magnetic. He moves with purpose and confidence. His posture is erect but relaxed. His gestures are economical and precise. His voice is modulated and clear. All this composes the complete picture of elegance. It is a silent language that other men of power immediately recognize. It is like two chess masters who recognize each other without saying a word. It is an exclusive fraternity based not on money or birth, but on understanding. On the understanding, the details matter. That presentation is a form of communication. That self-respect is the foundation of respect from others. A genuine gentleman understands the difference between being noticed and being respected, between being envied and being admired, between impressing and influencing. The first option is fleeting, the second, lasting. A truly sophisticated man does not seek immediate applause. He cultivates a reputation over time. The true masters of elegance understand that it is not about calling attention, it is about commanding respect. It is not about being in fashion, it is about being above. An elegant man does not follow trends, he establishes standards. In ancient Rome, senators wore togas with a purple stripe, an instant visual code of power and authority. In Victorian England, the male formal attire evolved to communicate power, reliability, and competence. In the corridors of Wall Street, the suit became synonymous with financial capability. In each era, powerful men understood the value of visual presentation as a silent declaration of authority. You may not have a blazer from a famous Italian designer. You may not own a limited edition Swiss watch. You may not have access to a private tailor, but you always have access to attention to detail, to impeccable cleanliness, to correct fit, to harmonious combination, to careful maintenance. These are the true marks of elegance that are within reach of any man willing to dedicate himself to them. If you desire to transform your life, begin by transforming your appearance. If you desire more respect, begin by appearing more respectable. If you desire more success, begin by appearing more successful. The world responds to visual signals more than we like to admit. There is a concept called enclothed cognition, the influence our clothes have on our psychological processes. Scientists have discovered that not only do others judge us differently based on our clothes, but we ourselves think and act differently depending on what we wear. When you wear formal attire, you literally think in a more powerful and abstract way. Your brain functions at a superior level. This explains why so many great leaders are meticulous about their presentation. It is not just to impress others, it is to access superior mental states, to activate the best of themselves, to tune into the frequency of excellence. A well-fitted suit is not just social armor, it is a psychological tool. You can argue against these truths, you can call them superficial or unfair, but that does not change the fact that they are truths. Elegance is power, presentation matters, and the sooner you accept this, the sooner you can use this knowledge to your advantage. In a world where first impressions are often made digitally, through a LinkedIn profile, a WhatsApp photo, or a video call, your personal presentation has become even more critical. That casual photograph you use as a professional profile is probably closing more doors than opening. That wrinkled shirt in the video call is communicating disorganization, not casualness. Modernity has not eliminated the rules of elegance. It has only transformed them. The truly sophisticated man understands this and adapts his presentation for each context, always maintaining the same standard of excellence, whether in person or digitally. If this video is bothering you, ask yourself why. The most valuable truths are usually the most difficult to hear, but they are exactly these truths that have the power to transform your life. There is a reason why you feel discomfort hearing these words. Part of you recognizes their validity. Part of you knows you have been neglecting your presentation. Part of you understands you could be benefiting from a more refined image. This discomfort is valuable. It is the first step toward change. Remember, every extraordinary man at some point consciously decided to abandon mediocrity. He made a deliberate choice to elevate his standards, to demand more of himself, to reject the common and embrace the exceptional. This moment of decision changed everything for him, just as it can change for you. Leave a like on this video if you are ready to elevate your game. Subscribe to the channel if you desire to become a more powerful and respected version of yourself. Activate the bell to be notified about each new lesson of elegance and power. This channel is not for men who are content with the mediocre. It is not for those who accept being common. It is for the man who sees life as an arena where excellence is the only acceptable option. It is for the man who understands that every detail of his presentation is a declaration of his values and ambitions. In each new video, we will reveal another aspect of the art of masculine elegance, another secret that separates true gentlemen from the mass of common men, another principle that can elevate your presence, your impact, and your personal power. Each time you dress with excellence, you are declaring to the world that you matter, that you respect yourself, that you deserve to be taken seriously. It is not a question of vanity, it is a question of self-worth. An elegant outfit is not a luxury, it is an investment in opportunities, an investment in connections, an investment in respect. Think about it. How much is it worth to you to be automatically treated with more deference? How much is it worth to be instantly perceived as competent? How much is it worth to have doors opened without needing to knock? A quality suit can last a decade or more if well cared for. Distribute its cost over that time, and you will realize it is one of the most efficient investments a man can make. The return on this investment is exponential in opportunities, in connections, in respect. Remember what is at stake here. We are not just talking about clothes. We are talking about how the world perceives you, how it treats you, and ultimately, what opportunities it offers you. The world is competitive. Opportunities are scarce. First impressions are decisive. In a fraction of a second, people decide if you are worthy of their time, attention, and investment. If you are competing for a client, a promotion, a contract, or even a relationship, your presentation can be the decisive factor that tips the balance in your favor. Elegance is not an option for the man who seeks excellence. It is a necessity. It is a requirement to enter certain circles. It is a key that opens certain doors. It is a code that communicates belonging to certain groups. Ignore this at your own risk. Comment below, "Elegance is power," if this video resonated with you. And until the next video, remember, while other men are content with mediocrity, you are destined for excellence. I am Daniel, and this is Man of Elegance. This is not just another channel about masculine fashion. It is a guide to social dominance through impeccable personal presentation. It is a manual for the man who understands that refinement is not a luxury, but a tool of power. It is an academy for those who wish to stand out in a world of common men. In an ocean of mediocrity, be the beacon of excellence that guides other. Men, be the standard by which they measure themselves, be the example they aspire to follow. Because in the end, true elegance is not about impressing others, it is about inspiring them.